I want to bring in retired U.S. Army Major and military analyst Mike Lyons for more on this. And Mike, let's just backtrack. The planning to capture Maduro reportedly started in the summer, and the actual operation took place without large-scale deployment. So I'm hearing in under 3 hours with 150 aircraft that were launched from 20 regional bases, 0 casualties. How does a large-scale operation like this go down and successfully?
Juliet, most thought this was impossible to do without a D-Day type invasion, without bringing 20,000 troops on shore and fighting their way into Maduro's compound there. But because of the joint force and because of all of the interoperability between the intel that was collected on the ground and how we fight, we were able to pull this off. Well rehearsed. They knew exactly what they were doing once they got to the target. Different from the Osama bin Laden raid, where we kind of snuck in and snuck out of Pakistan. In this case, we went in kinetically, took out all their air defense platforms, took out their electrical grids and made the place dark. That was a lot different. And then again, different from Panama in 1989 when we took Noriega, in that we had troops there on the ground. So the guile, the guts, and what it took to operate this mission is only something the United States military can do. Sends a great signal, I think, to our adversaries throughout the world.
Yeah, I could only imagine. So on top of executing this mission, there was a clandestine intelligence campaign at work. We're talking about mapping Maduro's every moves, his daily routine, his trusted inner circle. How does that happen? Who does this type of surveillance? How is that done?
Yeah, a lot of that likely is classified, but if I were to speculate on that, it would have to go with human intelligence, because the level of detail that was achieved in order to get not just at the compound itself, but in the surrounding areas and the other military operations. We have lots of eyes on the ground there, lots of cooperation. I suspect CIA did a tremendous job gathering human intelligence over the past 8 months or so in order to fix this, likely before they even thought this was going to happen. And so I attribute a lot to that, and then to the technology we have, the satellite shots. You bring that all together, it confirms what's going on the ground, and then that gives the operators who had to execute the mission the confidence to know that once they got there from what they thought they were going to be, that's exactly what was there at the target when it was ready.
Absolutely. You've described this operation as a strategic repositioning of the Western Hemisphere, with Russian, Chinese, and Iranian influences expelled from our own backyard. So tell us about what this means for the U.S. and what message it sends to these countries.
Oh, absolutely. This is a resurgence of the Monroe Doctrine, which says we'll control things in our hemisphere. And President Trump, in his ever-ending search for leverage, gets it with oil, obviously masked somewhat with the narco-terror drug kingpin that's been removed. But the bottom line is the United States now will control and have oversight to the amount of oil coming out of Venezuela, 300 billion barrels, the largest reserves pile in the world. So it puts pressure on China, kicks China out of our hemisphere as well. Russia. Their military systems did not hold up one bit against what we fought against. And then lastly, Iran. The Iranians had factories set up inside of Venezuela making drones. And so this is a complete reset within our hemisphere, establishing the Monroe Doctrine. And again, the Trump administration gets the leverage it has in oil. I think the next somewhat target is Cuba. I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Cuba to change their ways next as well.
Mike Lyons. Mike, thank you so much.